classism. It has no racism. It has no wealthism, capitalism, communism is not a part of how we choose universal understanding. Universal understanding is for all of us, okay? And what I've been teaching you guys and what I've been trying to get you guys to understand that there's a rhyme and a rhythm. Hey, shut up. What I've been trying to teach you guys is that there's a rhyme and a rhythm to nature. That's all. And what I've been teaching you is that in that rhyme or rhythm is that you got to be able to get in the melody. You got to be able to feel the beat. You got to be able to hear the song. You got to be able to get on tune. You got to be able to get into the steppers line. And what's happening is you're out of position to hear that frequency. You're out of position to see that opportunity. You're out of position to get that healing. You're out of position to get that riches. You're out of position to be able to connect to the energy that can get you thwarted towards that which you're seeking out of the universe. The reason why the prayers are not being answered, the reason why the prayers are not being answered, the reason why your prayers are not being answered is because you are simply not in the right position. And what we're believing is that repositioning is also going to help us with reconnection. So if you are out of position, then you're off the battery charge. If you're out of position, you're off of the charger. If you're out of position, you're off of the energy source. You're out of the plug. If you're out of position, then you're just out here lasting on you. And your battery charge goes low real fast. Now, when your battery charge goes low real fast, there are applications that you can no longer use to try to save battery. So out of your battery saving mode, you can't initiate certain apps. Well, guess what? One of those applications is your self-healing activation. And when your battery get too low because your ass is off the charger, when your battery charge get too low, you can't access self-healing. It's an application. It's an accessory. So what we're teaching you guys about enlightenment, what we're teaching you about the human design, I hope that you understand that you cannot overlook the lessons that you're being taught. Time, okay? Let me see if I got something better than that one. Time. All right? Time took us thousands of years to understand what time is. Time is Saturn, okay? Time is Saturn, which is called Chronos. And then you got something that's called Cryos that y'all don't know nothing about, okay? You got Chronos and you got Cryos. Chronos is chronological time. You're clocking in and clocking out. You'll see that a lot of our time clocks now are called Chronos. Yeah, when you're going clocking in and out your job, one of the main frames now is called Chronos. They already make me let you know. Chronos is Saturn, okay? But then you got Kairos. Kairos is sacred time, while Chronos is chronological time. Now, you must understand the differences between chronological and sacred time. Chronological time is something that goes in sequence. Chronological time goes in sequence, okay? Chronological time goes in sequence. Krayos is sacred time, okay? Sacred time don't go in sequence, okay? Now, the main understanding of time is that you must stay conscious in time. We're going to teach you what this means. You must stay conscious in time, and then you also must be intentional. That's where we come in at, okay? So we're trying to get you back in time. Now you say, well, what you mean back in time? Well, depression and anxiety can get you out of body. Your mind leaves your body. It goes forward in time or it goes backward in time. Sometimes when you're driving home, you can't recognize the trip back because you really wasn't in your body. You was outside in your mind somewhere. So you can't realize the trip back home. Now, obviously, you've been taking that trip back home millions of times. So at the end of the day, you're riding on muscle memory, but you don't remember nothing because your mind was out of your body. So when we keep you depressed or anxiety, that means that you're like this, but you're not in synergy. Okay, you're not in synergy. So what we're trying to do is to get you to understand how enlightenments work, right? So they said that a kundalini energy, they said that a oil or something comes from the root of you to the top of you. Well, that oil that comes from your root to the top is melatonin. Melatonin is also produced in your ovaries and your testes. Melatonin is the oil that we need. Melatonin is the self-healing oil within you. So when we're talking to you about time, hold that to the side. Watch how we connect this. Melatonin comes up to the brain. Melatonin has melatonin in your reproductive organs, your skin. It has things in your brain. It got it in your gut. So as it go up this line, it's accumulating. It's producing melatonin to get to this level, and that's the pineal. Now we know that the mind is a womb, and then the reproductive organs is a womb. Y'all look at that, womb and womb. Y'all see that? Now what I'm trying to get you to understand, what I'm trying to get you to see, is that what they do is they throw us back into the time portal, out of time, out of sync, which I understand, so that you don't remember. You can't remember that you was already here. So they throw your ass back in, out of season and out of time, so that you can't get this synergy to remember. But also when you have a breakage in this electricity, when you have a breakage in this line, when you have a breakage in this communication, when you have a breakage in this oneness, when you have a breakage in this alignment, when you have a breakage in this agreement, what happens is the mind can't connect with the body, so it leaves the body vulnerable to the body's own vices. So there's nothing to stop you from your pornographic appetite. There's nothing stopping you from your food appetite. There's nothing stopping you from your work appetite. There's nothing stopping you from your drug appetite. There's nothing stopping you from your alcohol appetite. The only stop sign that you ever was created inside of you is your mind. And when your mind is not connected to your body has no stop sign. So it will succumb to its fleshly wants, needs, and desires. Let me get this shit out the way real fast. Keep tapping and I'll keep talking. Once we get to 100,000 likes, we'll start to invite you guys onto the live, and then we'll start taking your birthdays and walking you through your GPS. Okay. So now, with that being said, we must understand that what HerbMan trying to say is the owner's manual for that measly funky $50 is going to get us back into a oneness. Right? It's going to get us back to our positive and our negatives being in a unison. Going to get us back to the alignment with our physical and our spiritual. Going to get us back into alignment with our masculine energy and our feminine energy. This is going to get us back into alignment with our yin and yang. What he's trying to say is that these positive and negative charges are needed. You got to value the lower self. You can't discard it. You got to value the higher self. You can't discard it. This is not a right or wrong or good or bad. This is a negative and a positive, which is simply energies that are valued coming into this time portal. Now, once we get you back aligned, then now you're conscious, because in alignment, your mind is connected with the body and you're in the present moment. Being in the present moment is the definition of consciousness. The definition of consciousness is being in the present moment. Time requires consciousness, being in the present moment. And then when you are in the present moment, when we got you aligned, when we got you agreeing, when we got you in the room together, the mind and the body is in the same room together, then we can be intentional and we can pull energy from the spirit over to help the body. So when you got cancer and your body can't help you, when you got dialysis and your kidneys can't help you, when you got heart disease and your heart can't help you, when you got lung disease and your lungs can't help you, when you got all these things then they can't help you, you got to understand that there's something in you that can. When your body is too weak, We can't call on the body to help you in the body's feebleness. So we got to call on another energy that you possess inside of you to help pull that energy to where it needs to be. That's over here in this, that's over here in the mind. So what we do is we uplift the mind, uplift the spirit, and then we pull and transition that energy over to the body parts that need it. And when that nervous system gets that body part back on track, when that nervous system starts to recognize those kidneys again, not only does it send communication signals to that kidney, it also sends food to that kidney. And when it sends communication and food to that kidney, then that kidney now has to rejuvenate. When that brain recognizes that liver or those lungs or that gallbladder, and it says, okay, this back online. I recognize that liver back online now. Now we're going to feed it again and communicate it with it. Anytime that the brain sees that these particular these organs are back online, they back on function, you also get food coming to those motherfuckers. And when you get food coming to those organs, you guys, this is not rocket science. When we focus your mind on the body part, we're also focusing the brain. So we're sending nervous system signals, electrical signals to that body part, and we're also sending that thought energy to that. Now, when we send that electrical signal, though, then that's going to also send food down. So nutrients now are coming back to your kidneys. Nutrients now are coming back to your liver. Nutrients now are coming back to your gallbladder. Nutrients now are coming back to your cells in your blood. Nutrients now coming back to your heart. And with communication and nutrients is a rejuvenation. Now we can be intentional by moving energy over. So understanding time is numbers. Your birthday is a time. And what we're teaching you is that your birthday holds more knowledge than a hair sample, a stool sample, a urine sample, a blood type, a live culture. It holds more knowledge about you than anything that you can ever take down there at that modern medicine facility. Your birthday holds a lifetime of information. And you're going to see, once we get to 100,000 likes, you're going to see there are going to be people who are going to be calling into the show, giving me their birthday, and watch me track their ass as a GPS system. You say, well, shit, I ain't got no GPS tracker on me. That's on my car. That's on my phone. That's on my child phone. You got a GPS tracker on you. I'll track your motherfucking ass right now. I don't give a damn how hard you is, how strong you is, how bad you is, how sad you is, how sweet you is. I'll track your motherfucking ass. I don't give a damn if you're a Christian, if you're an unbeliever. I'll track your motherfucking ass. Give me your birthday. Get us up to 100,000 likes and watch what happens. And this is what you get in your owner's manual for that little funky, measly $50. $50? The man is trying to teach us how to get back into balance for $50. In that owner's manual comes your herbs, your foods, your lifestyle activities, the way you get balanced, the way you understand your spiritual tendencies, the way you understand your physical tendencies, everything about you. Thus, it's called the owner's manual. But do you not understand that an owner's manual not only will advocate and not only will encourage and not only will advance and not only will heighten you on how you operate as an individual, but a owner's manual also will help service technicians. So if you got a pastor, that's a service technician servicing you. If you got a therapist, that's a service technician servicing you. If you are going to a doctor, it is a service technician servicing you. So guess what? Not only does the owner's manual empower me as an individual to take my own health care in my own hands, but also if I do want to reach out to somebody, I say read the owner's manual. See, so for me, I need these herbs. I need these foods. I got to deal with these spiritual tendencies. I take this on the manual to my pastor, my therapist, and my doctor, because now I got the blueprint on me. Nobody else gonna have that. The doctor ain't got the blueprint on you. You can't go get that from your parents. You can't go get that from the pastor. He ain't got the blueprint on himself. He don't even know nothing about this information in order for it to be able to be holistic in nature for you. The doctor don't got this information in order for it to be holistic in nature toward you. They need it too. Who do you get it from? The HerbMan. for a measly funky $50. And not only will that $50 get you to be empowered and put your health back into your own hands, but you also get a lifetime access to the HerbMan without no extra cost. Why so low, HerbMan? My mama right now want to just beat me to oblivion for me to have so cheap. Well, why you got them so cheap? All this stuff out here, you trying to travel and go across the world. You got this shit for $50. Because it's for the least of us, mama. I know you want me to be a great businessman and be a great entrepreneur, be a great success and rich and all this type of stuff, but I didn't get into it for that. I didn't get into it for riches. I got into it to be a difference, not in to be a wealthy. I wanted to be able to know something that can impact every man and woman on the planet, and I realized and believed that I had that power. And I'm living out my journey. Coming live from South Africa. I don't know where you at, but I ain't in Georgia no more because of this. Riding the waves of life. Learning how to ride this wave of life. Understanding how to ride a low tide. Understanding how to ride a high tide. Understanding the difference between intellect and intuition. Understand that life is going to give me some series of events that only intuition can solve. And life gonna give me a series of events only intellect can solve. And a lot of you guys are getting to this stage 4 and 5 cancer where intellect can't solve it no more. So we done gave you all the meds, all the treatments, and there's nothing else we can do for you. It's because your problem can't be solved with man's intellect. It has to be solved with intuition. You get to a point where facts can't explain everything. Faith must be an integral understanding that's a part of life as well. You're going to get to a point of understanding that there's some known things that you're going to go through. See, intellect is about something that's already happened before. If I seen it, I can replicate it. That's intellect. If I seen today, I can replicate tomorrow, today, just like today, because I seen it. So intellect is something I seen before. That means something I know before I knew it. But when you get into intuition, this is the unknown. So now you done got to where can't nobody figure out your problem. They can't solve your disease. They can't solve your divorce. They can't solve your loneliness. And they can't solve your brokenness. You broken down a motherfucker. You can't solve your wealth issues, your financial issues. Who you going to call? You better call the Ghostbusters. Because the Ghostbusters are going to use intuition to solve your problem. While you keep calling on pastor and doctor, they're going to use intellect to solve a problem that they can't help. See, the Ghostbusters know how to go beyond you. They know how to go beyond the physical. You better call the goddamn Ghostbusters. And that's the owner's manual for your funky measly $50, okay? Now, how does this happen? How do we get out of time? How do we get out of body and mind? Again, depression and anxiety, the underbelly of that would be trauma. Trauma can start to separate the mind and the body. You'll never be separated from your brain. Obviously, the brain is part of the body, but your mind can be elsewhere while your body is in a place. Look, I was in prison before. My body was there, but my mind was free. All right, so we know that this can happen. Okay, now what happens is when this happens, that severage, that breakage in the continuity of the flow of energy between the positive and the negatives in you, between the womb and the reproductive system. I want y'all to understand what I'm fucking saying. All right, I throw some paper at you. I'm tired of you now. I want you to understand what I'm saying. Your brain and your reproductive organs. Your brain and your reproductive organs. We need it. We're trying to get you to produce melatonin. Melatonin comes from the brain, the gut, the skin, and the reproductive organs. And obviously, you can get these in herbs as well. Melatonin comes from the brain, the gut, the skin, the reproductive organs, and also we can get them from herbs. So what we're trying to do is get you to raise the melatonin. Ain't nobody ever taught this way. We've been hearing about pineal gland. You've been heard about melatonin, but they tell you about the crystals. See, that's how this shit gets you confused. You hear one person call it another name, another person says something else, somebody else says something else, so you'll never get it. What in the hell can raise from the sacral chakra, or the root to the brain? What can raise from the bottom to the top? What is this oil that can raise from what is kundalini? Melatonin. I can get your sexual energy to be spewed into the blood because these are hormones. Hormones are spewed into the blood via the endocrine system, chemical reaction. So when you get hormones, progesterone, testosterone, estrogen spewed into the blood, obviously it's going to break the blood-brain barrier. So it goes into the brain, and guess what? It makes the pituitary gland start to produce FS and all these types, FH and all this type of stuff, and these are hormones. So you have a hypothalamic pituitary axis. You have a hypothalamic pituitary gonads. Ovaries and testes are called gonads. Your ovaries produce melatonin. That's how you give it to the baby. Your testes produce melatonin. That's how you get it to the baby. So my point to you is that if I have you sleep, rest, meditate, concentrate, focus, all of these things and more is only getting me to get you to produce melatonin. Okay? Now, melatonin, for all of you guys that are looking at the video today, thank you for tuning in. Please keep tapping. I'll keep talking. Please keep tapping. I'll keep talking. Yes, I am the best teacher on social media. I know. Y'all ain't got to say it. I'm the best one. Okay? Because I use this to heal you, not to divide you any longer. We don't give a fuck about if you from America, nigga. Where's your power to live longer than 75 years? Knowing you indigenous to America, is that going to give you more long life than somebody else? That's what the power, that's what the race is at. Living longer. Give a damn if you the first people, the last people, the weakest people, the strongest people. That shit don't matter to me. Where is the world language? Where is a communication that help all of us instead of continuing to keep separate? So black folk want to be on top, so white folk can be on bottom. God ain't looking to change drivers. God is looking to change directions. He ain't looking for no woman to drive us down the wrong road. He ain't looking for no black man to drive us down the wrong road. He ain't looking for you to switch places and enslave the white folk. Ain't nobody looking for the same shit going. We want a different direction. So we're not looking to change drivers. We're trying to see which one of y'all can change directions. That's what God is looking for. So no, he won't make the big brother take over the little brother, because the little brother been doing the big brother wrong. What daddy you know gonna do that? What parent you know is gonna say, oh, well, since the little kid has been running so long, let's let the older brother fucking run over the little kid. These are my children. Everybody is God's children. Everything is nature's creation. So therefore, whatever position you got yourself in ain't got in a position because of nature of God. It's because of the way your dynamic is, the way your perspective is, the way you view life. So what I'm trying to tell you is that this oil that you need to be focused on ain't no goddamn crystals. It ain't no little magical little bullshit. It's sleep, rest, focus, concentration, and meditation, because what you raising is melatonin. That's the healing oil. It's melatonin. It's the self-healing mechanism in you. What about melatonin do we need to know? Melatonin is your best antioxidant in you. Why do I need an oxidant? Well, let me explain. Remember that you're trying to achieve 120 years old. You're trying to achieve everlasting life. Well, how do you do this? Is that you must learn intricately how to body preserve. You must learn how to preserve your body. Now, if you can't preserve your body through this paradigm, obviously you're going to run out of time. Obviously, stress and oxidative stress and all of the ins and outs of nuances of health will start to diminish your health as you age, right? So you can't body preserve just with the body alone. So you must share in this dynamic. You must realize that you got to share in this dynamic, not just with intellect, intuition, but also with the body and the mind. You must share this leadership position with the feminine energy. You must share this leadership position with her in you. You don't want to, though. It's a man's world, so I'm in a man's mind, and so I think like a man and do all this type of stuff so that I can get ahead in life. Yes, that's going to get you ahead in life, but your ass still going to be dead. You're going fast nowhere. You getting more money than me won't make you live longer than me. You being bigger than me from the gym, nigga, don't make you live longer than me. You smoking longer than me don't make you live longer than me. You been a virgin longer than me ain't gonna make you live longer than me. You eat more fruits and vegetables longer than me ain't gonna make you fucking live longer than me. You got to learn how to balance this life. Being excessive in anything that you're doing is not a recipe for everlasting life. That's why you don't see folks go to church longer than you and still die before you. You don't see folks that ain't never went to church longer than you that still die before you. Nigga, this ain't, how do you body preserve? Because the information that you know now with Christianity, dead. The end result of that shit is death. Ain't not a damn Christian I ever seen got everlasting life other than the motherfucker in the book. There's not now Muslim that swear up and down that Muslim is the best religion in the world and your ass ain't got no everlasting life either, nigga. And it's not a now Jew on the planet Earth. I don't give a damn what your history is and what you went through, because you went through the same thing I did. It don't matter about what egregiousness went through your past, and it don't matter how rich you is in the future, Jews. You don't live longer than me. You're dying too. Ain't nobody tasted everlasting life. Continue to read the text every day in and day out, reading about Superman, He-Man, Spider-Man, and Black Man, and you're reading about all these men and Jesus and Heru and everybody who came back and did that, but you can't do it. When you in your worst situation, your ass can't do it. You're reading about it, but you can't seem to do it. Why you can't do it? How the hell the Bible said that they did it, but you can't do it. I have pastors, you guys. I'm 46 years old. I got friends that's dad is pastor. They come to me because they on their deathbed. They want to live one more day. Well, why you ain't asking God? Hey, you come to, I ain't God. Because what you know is intellect. It only gets you so far. It only gets you so far. And we're starting to realize that now. Why are my prayers not being heard? It's because you don't know where you are and you're praying out of season. You're praying out of turn. Your prayers are out of frequency. Your prayers don't have enough energy to make it because you're not tuned in to the right channel. And for the funky, measly $50, we're attempting to allow you to understand how to channel that back in, how to understand this transition. And when you go read the book of Numbers in the Bible, just go read the book of Numbers in the Bible. Go back into your Bible and read what the book of Numbers is. The book of Numbers is about what? Numbers is a language of transition. From 0 to 9. From nothing to something. So in the book of Numbers, you'll see how the people were in the wilderness for 40 years. The wilderness is your inability to see this particular life path. The wilderness is being in this paradigm, not being able to see this illustration. The wilderness is being in this paradigm and not being able to know that you're in this cycle. The wilderness is if you can't see the infinity sign in this sign. The wilderness is if you can't see that this is a compass. That's north, south, east, and west. The wilderness is if you can't see that this is yin and yang. The wilderness is if you can't see that this is also the doshas, the kapha, the pitta, the vata. The wilderness is if you can't see that this is your health. The wilderness is if you can't see that this is the sun of the ecliptic. This is the sun's path. This is following the sun of God. The wilderness is if you can't see that this is an electromagnetic wave. If you can't see that this is tidal waves. If you can't see that this is frequency. And if you can't see that this is sound and this is color. This is the sine waves. See, the wilderness is when you blind. But also the wilderness is when you're untamed. Untamed is when you're not balanced. An imbalanced person is a wild man. The wilderness is a wild mind, an untamed mind. The wilderness is a blind mind, a mind that is living, but that is eyes wide shut. That is the walking dead. That is the eyes being able to be behind the veil of life. So the 40 years of wilderness, your ass is blind or ignorant. The 40 years of wilderness is this ignorance is creating industry. The 40 years of wilderness is that you don't know the power that you possess. But even in the book of Numbers, the 40 years of wilderness came to those who were being disobedient. Day in and day out. HerbMan ain't saying shit. HerbMan ain't talking about shit. HerbMan ain't about shit. HerbMan ain't on shit. HerbMan ain't about that bull. HerbMan goddamn just HerbMan. So all this time you keep being disobedient to this goddamn lie that I do twice a day. And because of that disobedience, God put you in 40 years of wilderness. You won't be able to hear shit in the way. You won't be able to smell shit stink. You ain't gonna be able to believe. You're gonna be so conspiracy theorist, so doubtful, so untrusting, so attached, so delusional, so guilty and unforgiving, so self-control issues. You're gonna be so caught up in your emotions, your tidal waves of life inside, that you ain't gonna be able to grab hold to this information. But God got something for you. Nature understands that dynamic. Remember, we got some ups and we got some downs. So God already got that in the equation, that there's going to be some opposites that's going to be able to be in that facility. But what we're trying to teach you today is that if you understand how to ride these ups and downs, if you understand how to understand these ups and downs, these are not challenges to a learned mind. And you can't learn how to be a human being from a book. You got to learn it from nature. So Numbers is a story about how to transition from nothing to something. When you don't have nothing else to give in your body. When you can't eat no more. When she's sitting there losing weight and you're watching your mama, your grandmama, you're watching your loved one, your daddy, your uncle lose weight, can't eat, can't sleep. You're sitting there watching them corrode and erode away from this disease that they said is that you can't cure no more, that you can't do nothing for, and the doctors done sent them back home, and they're gonna die in the bed because they're at the hospice level, they at the I can't do nothing level. Then you must know that when facts can't fix it, when intellect can't fix it, when man's knowledge can't fix it, then you must be able to jump into another energy source, another pool that's in you. It's in you. Faith can fix whatever facts can't. Intuition can fix whatever intellect can't. God can fix whatever man can't. And you're supposed to have a connection with not only the nature and the land, but you're supposed to have a connection with the spirit, the God. So when you're looking at nature and nature can't answer your questions, you're supposed to be able to go to God. But you don't know how to use intuition. Well, we're going to teach you with your honest man. And for your funky measly $50, we're going to show you how to transfer mind's energy, spirit's energy over to help facilitate and help uplift and bring up the health of the body That's how we do it. We got to share in the space and time. You're supposed to live 60 years out of 120. You live 60 years in the physical, the intellect, and 60 years you share with the intuitive, the feminine energy within you. If you try to do all 120 years straight body, you ain't gonna make it. So what we got to do is reposition you here in the middle, in the center. Okay, that's what we're trying to do. So the book of Numbers is telling you about transition, because numbers is a language of transition. So when I use your birthday, it's telling me about the language of how you transitioning through this paradigm. So I know your beginning and I know your end. A GPS system gives you two coordinates. It gives you the destination and the current location. So when you give me your birthday, aka your manufacturing date, because every owner's manual got a manufacturing date and a model number. So we're using that vernacular, but it's all the same understanding. Your birthday is the manufacturing date. Your life path number is the model number, right? So when you give me your birthday, I get all this information and it starts to teach me and show me in language about your transition through the life path. Numbers equal transition. Can I please get somebody to put that in the chat? YouTube or TikTok. Numbers is a language of transition. Numbers tell me how you're transitioning through this life paradigm. We're trying to teach you in your owner's manual about the power of being able to transition. Exodus, so that the spirit can exit from where you got it captivated at to the area that you needed to be energized. We're showing you how to transition that power from the mind and the spirit to your kidneys or to your heart or to your cancer, to your tumor, or whatever the ailment is. You need to learn, how do I transition this energy to be able to uplift this body part? Because the doctors ain't going to do nothing for me no more. How in the fuck is you going to resurrect? How are you going to heal yourself when the doctors done gave up on you? The doctor's sentence is not God's sentence. The doctor's sentence is not a death sentence. AIDS is not a death sentence. Herpes is not a death sentence. Cancer is not a death sentence. Autoimmune disease is not a death sentence. But what are you going to do? Because man can't put time on you. Nature is the only one that time tagged you. You got to go back to nature. Nature-based interventions have been proven scientifically to improve 93% of mental health, 83% of physical health, and 73% of cognitive ability. Proven. You go research. Okay? I'm here to show you guys how to transition. Be ye transformed by the renewing of mind. How to transition. Jesus Christ, transition to Christ Jesus. It's all just a transition. Okay? I forgot Malcolm X's real name, but his goddamn name when he was born wasn't Malcolm X. Then he transitioned into Malcolm X. Cassius Clay transitioned into Muhammad Ali. Martin Luther King was just the old goddamn old regular old preacher. Transitioned into a civil rights leader. How will you transition? Transitioning ain't about being alive and then dead. Transitioning is about being able to transition in these different portals while you're in life. Can someone explain what's going on like the topic? What you mean? What you mean what's going on like the topic? This your first time in the room or something? You don't know who I am? If not, be quiet. Stop texting and just start listening. You're talking too much. You're so concentrating on your fingers moving to try to get out your mind that you can't listen and see what the fuck I'm talking about. An open mouth is a closed ear. Sit back, relax, and chill and see that the man is talking about alignment with nature in a way to heal yourself. I'm not talking about no zodiac. I don't give a damn about no love, no money in your life. I don't give a damn about opportunity. What I'm trying to get to understand is this. Once I teach you this art of alignment, this ain't about your health. Not only will you be able to produce and spawn and grow health in your life, you'll be able to produce and spawn everything. What they don't want you to do is live a lifetime of abundance. They want you to have these spurts and these nuances of calamity, of despair, of lack, because that ain't heaven. That is the that is the number one thing against God, is for you to come into this thing and not understand your abundance. So if you sick and you dealing with an issue, you are lost on this map. But we're gonna find you. Don't worry about it. Keep tapping. I'll keep talking. Get us up to 100,000 likes, and we finna find folks. You finna see me. I'm gonna do this shit in your face today. Okay? If you sick, you lost. If you financially broke or poor, you lost. You don't know your way on the yellow brick road. If you are diseased, you're lost. You don't know your way on the yellow brick road. If you are broke financially, you are poor, impoverished. I'm coming live from South Africa, so that means that I'm talking debt to you, motherfucking ass African. I'm talking debt to you, African American. I'm talking debt to you, Southern American. I'm talking debt to you, Aborigine. I'm talking debt to anybody who is living below the poverty level, is because you lost your motherfucking way. When you know that this thing is abundant. How can you be sick and all these herbs out here? Because you lost your way and you forgot the synergy. You forgot the understanding that land always got man. Earth always have the remedies to your ills. So if you being sick and you don't know your way to get healed, you lost. But we gonna find you. If you broke and poor and you don't know your way to wealth and riches, it's because you're lost and you can't find self. When I found self, I ain't never been broke since then. When I found this right here and I understood that God tagged me to be HerbMan and I live in this dynamic, everything been going good for me. Even when you think it's going bad for me, it's going good for me because I'm in alignment. I'm in alignment, so I know how to ride the waves. I know that when a flood comes to float, I know that high tide, you're supposed to float. I know that I can't swim through the whole ocean with all these big ass waves. So they taught me in the military, in the United States Navy, one of the biggest tests that you got to take in order to graduate boot camp is that you got to jump off of this big ass goddamn with a diving board, right? So they got you jumping off the diving board into nothing but still water. And then they let you know, okay, go ahead and do what you think you need to do for 5 minutes to survive. Now, most of us is going to dog paddle. Oh, it's simple. They're not asking me to really swim. I'm going to get into the military. I'm going to get in. They're not asking me to really do any kind of really crazy swimming or going up under the water. So, girl, boy, get what? I'm going to make it. And then you realize that goddamn dog paddling, I ain't going to be able to do this for 5 minutes. My goddamn muscle getting tight. So you'll see that in a still pool, if a still pool, you can't dog paddle for 5 minutes, then you know you're going to lose way more energy in the ocean. See, it was learning. And they were all the time telling you, get on your back, son. Float, son. You can't dog paddle for a whole 5 minutes without physically being fit. And y'all didn't know that this was going to happen. And I don't give a damn how much you worked out in the gym. You ain't been physically fit to pass a swim test like this. You didn't train for this in the weight room. So you got muscle bound, you got skinny, you got fat, you got everybody. If you don't know how to float, you don't pass the military. Because what the military was trying to get you to see, the Navy, is that the ocean water is way stronger waves than this. If you can't float, you won't make it. You exasperate too much energy. So I learned that during high tide, during the turbulence, during the rough times of life, during the flood of emotions and during the flood of situations and environmental stimuli that come into my life, when I'm flooded, I'm supposed to be at a rest, at a float. That's how you ride a high tide. When you're trying to fight through it, you're going to diminish too much energy. And then I learned during low tide, when the tide recedes, that's the time to go out and start seashell hunting and start the coin hunting. And that's when you want to go out on the shores of the banks and start the fishing, because that's when you're able to get into your good little spot and start to catch fish during the low tide. So then I learned that low tide is when you go out and get things. So I got a time of rest. But here's the thing. When I'm flooded, you would think I need to work through it. When it ain't no flood, you would think that's the time to relax. Because you don't know how to ride the waves. We teach you this in your owner's manual for funky, measly $50. If you're interested in your owner's manual, please DM me and I'll get you the information that you need. So in teaching this, I say, okay, well, cool, you're in the low tide, so this is work time. When you're in the high tide, this is rest time. This is manifest time. You got absorption and you got reflection. White people or light-skinned people absorb more sunlight than dark-skinned people. Dark-skinned people, black people, reflect more sunlight than white folk or light-skinned folk. Now, light-skinned or white folks reflect light too, but not as much as black or dark-skinned people. Dark-skinned or black people do absorb light too, but not as much as white folk or light-skinned folk. So then there's another duality where I have a time of absorption and a time of reflection. Do you know which one you're in? You can know that with your funky, measly $50 and an owner's man. What I'm trying to get you to understand is that when we clock you, when we track you, we'll know what life lesson you're in, and we'll know what decision that you need to make to pass that test. Every situation comes with two decisions, but only one choice. Every life lesson comes with two scenarios, but only one choice is right. Okay? Only one choice is correct. Aries is going to come with, if you're in Aries, it's going to come with chaos. It's going to come with chaos and peace. You got to know which one passed the test. Taurus is going to come with two lessons: seeing the beauty or seeing the ugliness. You got to know which one passed the test. Gemini is going to come with two lessons: boredom or passion. You got to know which one it is to pass the test. Cancer is going to come with two lessons: keep it together or break it apart. You got to know which one of them it takes to pass that lesson. Okay? Leo is going to come with a test: show them your heart or show them your mind. You got to know which one of them it takes to pass that test. Virgo is going to come with a test: be restrictive or let loose. You got to know which one it takes to pass that test. And the owner's manual will show you preparation leads to opportunity. Okay, when we get to 100,000 likes, we'll get into the readings of birthdays. Okay, so don't worry about that. Y'all time will come. Now, the bottom line is, when you get kicked back into the matrix, why are you being kicked back into the matrix? Anybody know? I'm asking y'all now. I'm talking to y'all. Why are we being rebirthed or reborn? Why is it a whole thing about reincarnation and all of this? Do you believe in that and all of this? What is it about us that's getting kicked back into the system? Why are we being put back into this matrix? Anybody know? Somebody said, I don't know, no idea. Basically, we haven't fulfilled our destiny. Something we need to see. Keep up, BMAC. Dead because we missed something. Because we missed something the first time. I want to know because you didn't get it right the first time, until we can make it out of our system, because we haven't. I'm just trying to read everything. Because we haven't learned our lesson. Energy, our true purpose, not completely, because we don't know ourselves. Something we need to teach. Sharon Hayes, happy me understand the meaning. If you understand the meaning, then tell me why we keep coming back. Didn't preserve the body. Lost our way, keeping energy never aligned. So all of this that you guys have said is wrong. I appreciate it, but everything that y'all just said, y'all lost on the motherfucker. You don't know. But I understand. That's why y'all watching the show. You're learning, so I get it. The reason why you keep, okay, let me ask this. So it's gonna make it very easy if I do it this way. If I told you that you were promised everlasting life, What is the nemesis? What is the enemy to everlasting life? Anybody know? What is the enemy to everlasting life? So you were promised everlasting life. Remember, the Bible told you that Jesus went down, took the keys of death. He said, "Oh, death, where's thy sting? Oh, grave, where's thy victory?" He sacrificed himself. So you should be never dying. I don't give a fuck how you live your life. I don't give a fuck if you killed 1,000,000 people, raped 1,000,000 people, if you molested 1,000,000 people. You don't supposed to goddamn, because this is heaven. So why are you dying? Thank you, Sheila Ross. Thank you, Sheila Ross. Sheila Ross finally got it. I am CC. Yep, y'all getting it. So the nemesis to everlasting life is death. The nemesis to everlasting, and these are consciousnesses. These are states of being, okay? These are states of being, because we have it in our lower self. When we pass, we awaken to the true nature of self. I see you, T-Babe, on YouTube. I got you, okay? But the thing is that this is it. The nemesis to everlasting life is this consciousness here. This consciousness here. So what's happening is, if you experience this, this is failure. When you come into the matrix and you experience this, you failed. That's why your ass coming back. I try to make it easy and simple for you, because this is a everlasting, this is infinity. Look at this sign, y'all. Look at this. This is infinity. Life is supposed to be infinite. You're supposed to be able to be in this paradigm for forever, eating off all the bananas, the oranges, the fruits, the vegetables, the watermelon, the apples. You're supposed to be able to be, because guess what? Nature ain't going to die. It's going to keep on producing all of these fruits and vegetables year in and year out. And you're supposed to be able to be with it. But you're supposed to be able to go 3 months of winter without eating. If winter ain't got no goddamn food, you're supposed to be able to go fall with harvesting. You're supposed to be able to go these times and fast and be able to be patient and be able to be content and be able to have peace in how nature presents food, how nature presents opportunities. But you're not. You're in expedient man's mind. So man make it expedient or convenient. So therefore, when you do something, there ain't no direct. So you smoke a blunt, you don't croak over that night, so you smoke one tomorrow. You smoke a cigarette, you don't fall over and die that night, so you smoke a pack tomorrow. And so because it's not expedient, nature ain't expedient, you think that shit ain't real. And so now what you look for is a, and because you're not patient with nature, you become a patient to man. Because you're not patient with nature and being able to get this everlasting life through body preservation and patience, contentment, and peace, waiting on things to develop. It may take 3-4 months for you to get some food. You should be able to fast that time and go through that dynamic in order to know that nature got you. No, I need my pig feet right now. Even if you ain't got no pigs in your backyard, you want pig feet. You ain't growing no strawberries, but you want strawberries. You ain't growing no motherfucking watermelon, but you want watermelon every day. And you ain't in a tropical environment like that. So you're out of season. You're out of your plum picking mind. You're out of tune with nature. And you can't heal yourself. I don't give a damn what you do. The nemesis to everlasting life is death. The reason why you keep being reincarnated, rebirthed, or the reason for that story, period, because I don't even believe in it at all anyway. But if I will validate it by letting you know that what I do know is that the reason why that would even be possible is because you failed the journey. You failed. Ain't nobody gonna keep on coming back to high school unless they failed that motherfucker. You're gonna keep on coming back to first grade unless you fail. How did you fail to come back? You died. It ain't about that you need to do this and do that. You died, and this is supposed to be everlasting life. So something you didn't pick up on it being everlasting. And I know that the majority of us didn't pick this message up because I just not been born 46 years ago. My mama don't know this. My mama don't waiting on Jesus, but they don't understand it is me. And I ain't Jesus. I'm nowhere near that. I'm just a person trying to illustrate to you that you don't need to be waiting on anything because it's inside of you. What you need to be waiting on is God, not Jesus. You don't need to be waiting on Jesus. Jesus was waiting on God. You don't need to wait on Jesus. Jesus was waiting on God. You need to wait on God. You need to be patient. And some of you got cancer and can't be patient enough. Look, if cancer is coming to you in the spring, then we know by nature, we understand pattern, right? By nature, pattern has already showed me that spring gonna come, but it ain't gonna stay. Summer gonna come, but it ain't gonna stay. So now I understand that the pattern that nature is showing me that it is a permanent cycle of changes. It's a permanent cycle that I'm gonna get 4 different changes every year. So if I'm sick, or if I'm broke, if I'm alone, I understand that's only a season. That's spring. Summer gonna come. Spring don't last always. But you got children out here broke as hell making lifetime decisions. Because you broke, you killed somebody, and then you're in jail for the rest of your life. That's stupid, bro. It was a season. You lonely motherfucker, so you went out and raped somebody, bro. It was a season. You got cancer, but you can't endure for a season. So you finna die. If you just endure, persevere, and wait and be patient on nature, healing is gonna come. Winter is much needed. You can't have spring without winter. But let me show you something with winter and spring. Winter equals death in this thing. Okay? Winter would be death in this thing. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. I want to show you. Hey, y'all be quiet back there. Be here, wrong job. Winter is the diametrically opposed to spring or summer. But the thing is that you need winter. Winter bringing in cold air. Winter bringing in freezing waters. Winter bringing in ice cap land and all that type of stuff. That water begins to start to be absorbed. Remember, absorption and reflection. So during the spring and the summer, those are your reflective times where the earth is reflecting the sun. But then during the earth and the winter, during the fall and the winter, that's when it's absorption. So you absorb the dead plants, and you absorb the dead grass, and you absorb the dead leaves, and you absorb the dead pine straw, and then you absorb the rain and the sleet and the snow. All that's been absorbed through fall and winter. First, dead plants through fall. Then it's water through winter being absorbed. That is the ingredients that's needed for your fucking spring. So you'll see that these barren times, brokenness, distraughtness, loneliness is needed for the time that you're going to be achieving. Sickness is needed in order for you to be healed. Huh? You can't heal yourself unless you were sick, y'all. One thing is bringing up an opportunity for another. Are you ready? For your funky measly $50, we can help you with this balance. If you're interested in your DM, if you're interested in your owner's manual, please DM us and we'll get you the information that's needed, okay? Now let's keep going. What's up? Come on. So now that you the duality, the polarity in things, and how these charges are very, very conducive to your energy source and your continuity, your conductivity, and being able to synergize and get this particular energy to be able to get compounded and be able to shift like you want it to. Now that we understand all of that, how many of you are ready to go? Put some ones in the chat if you're ready to go. Put some ones in the chat if you are understanding enlightenment. So sexual energy, yes, can be uploaded. And what you're uploading is not Christos, is not the oil of Christos, because you'll never find that all that esoteric knowledge, metaphysics, you'll never find that in reality. But in reality, what you'll find is that oil is called melatonin. And you can get it from your skin. You can get it from your gut. You can get it from your brain, and you can get it from your reproductive organs. Now, the gut is the immune system, and that has melatonin as well. So you'll see that when we're asking you to concentrate and focus and meditate and be in a more synergized and synchronistic type of connection here, that what that's producing is this self-healing hormone in you called melatonin. We're not using that. We're not doing spookism. We're not using no spookism. You can ask me, what the fuck is healing me, HerbMan? Melatonin. What the fuck am I doing this for? And what's going to be doing? I'm going to tell you what's going on in the inside of your body. When we get you to be content, and when we get you to be in a peaceful state, when we get you to stop worrying and stop being depressed, and when we get you to be able to kind of get this mind back into agreement and alignment with your body, trust me, we can move this energy. But you can't move it until then. Okay? You cannot move it until then. We're almost at 100K, you guys, and we'll start doing the birthdays, all right? So we got about another hour to go. I got about 41 minutes, 51 minutes with you guys. So let's get there. You keep tapping, I'll keep talking, all right? So what is it that we don't understand that we're trying to understand about this thing? They put you into the time barrel out of time intentionally, okay? They redid the time from the golden age to the Renaissance age. They redid the time. Okay, so from the golden age to the Renaissance, times got changed. Okay, now during the golden age, you was under Ptolemy. I've got to spell Ptolemy, but you was under Ptolemy. During the Renaissance, then you came under another guy. So during the Ptolemy, Earth was the center of the universe. Okay? During Ptolemy, the Earth was the center of the universe. During Copernicus, Renaissance age, the sun became. Now, Copernicus was right. Let's get it going. Let's go and get this shit out the way. Copernicus was right, but Ptolemy was right. Ptolemy was right because the earth ain't the center of the universe, but the earth represented the human species, the body, the man, the woman. You are the center of your universe. Ptolemy was looking at it from a spiritual understanding that he learned from the Egyptians. Copernicus was using it from a scientific understanding. So you had a spiritual understanding that Ptolemy used that lasted 1,400 years. And then you got a scientific understanding that Copernicus used to last since then. But what happened is when you change it from the earth being the center to the sun, and you create this new calendar under the Gregorian calendar, you create new time. When you create new time, you throw us off of time. Well, that was intentional because in the golden age, it was the relationship between man and land that was spiritual. There was a spiritual relationship between man and land that was conducive to our upheaval, our being able to survive in all of those things back then. But then now you switched it over into man versus man. So now it's man's dependence on man. So now you went from man depending on land intellect to man being dependent on man's intellect. Now you went from man being dependent on land's intuition to being dependent on man's intuition. So you switch times, which throw yourself out of time and throw yourself out of sync with Mother Nature. And that's why you don't have power to heal yourself, even though the body can heal itself. Okay? We both know that. The body can heal itself. Okay? So what do? You got to goddamn conjugate you up a little 50 measly funky $50 so you can get your healing in your hand. That's what you got to do. This is for Rico, May, them, baby, them. This is for grandmama, them that don't got high blood, that don't got no insurance, that don't got no Medicaid, Medicare. This is for the least of us, all right? You still need this information too. You still need this love. So we created something to where you don't, if you super rich, guess what? This don't cost that much. If you super poor, guess what? This don't cost that much. If you super smart, guess what? This don't cost that much. If you super dumb, guess what? This don't cost that much. If you can't understand the language of English, this for you. If you ain't black, this for you. If you is black, this for you. This ain't for no one particular people. This is for humanity. Where they doing that at? Once we get to 100,000 likes, I'm going to choose one of you motherfuckers in your birthday. And I'm going to walk y'all ass through this life path and show you I ain't said nothing wrong. So we got to understand that it is what we do with our time. Consciousness in the moment. Consciousness in the moment. So that means that I got to rip away old trauma, ripples keeping you from connecting. It's easier said than done, and it's harder said than done, depending on who you are. But we can get you there. Okay? Questions. Any questions? It don't cost that much. $50 for you not to ever go to the pastor, to the therapist again. Come on, man. I ain't even gonna sit here and try to discuss that with y'all. Y'all know how much savings that is. $50 and you got your own health in your own hand where you don't need a pastor, a therapist, a psychologist, or a doctor. Come on, man. You your own service technician. Getting back in tune with nature, knowing exactly what you need, water, air, fire, which one you need, not just somebody throwing everything at you, but being more particular, more specific with you. Come on, man. YouTube, I ain't finna sit here and play with these folks. These folks know what's up. YouTube like, hell nah, nigga, you talking. I keep telling folks the body heal itself. Yes, but you got to give it time. The only thing about the body healing itself is that you don't give it time. So your kidneys need time, but you studied. As soon as you left the doctor's office, you went back to drink some more soda, drink some more water, drink some more tea. The doctor said, I need to drink this and drink that. Leave the motherfuckers alone. You don't need to do nothing. It's your kidneys fucked up. You need to be resting the kidneys. Don't do shit. Don't eat. Don't drink. Don't think about shit. Well, but I got to eat and drink with my medication because your ass should have been on the medication. The meds you need, the meds that you need is not medication. What's the meds that they need, people? Tell them. Go on and tell them, chat. Go on and tell them, chat. The meds that you need is not medications. It's meditation. Ain't nobody trying to get you to be no goddamn monk or no goddamn Buddhist. Ain't nobody trying to get you to be no yogi or no Ayurvedic motherfucker. What we trying to get you to do is produce melatonin. Okay, Christians? So come on, you can come on to me. This don't really your belief. This is a tool that we're using to heal thyself. And when you go to the doctor nowadays, your doctors Indians and Africans, and them folk ain't Christian. But y'all ain't talking religion in that doctor's office. I can't have a group of people that's not getting help because of a belief system. We need to eradicate that. You need help. You got so many Christians that are dealing with high blood pressure, diabetes, and cancer, and you keep praying, and it ain't going nowhere. And it ain't because there is no God. It's because you don't know the way. You're disconnected. Your prayers ain't reaching to the point. And I'm going to say this. God tired of you blaming them or him or her. It's you. The connection ain't fucked up from the top. It's fucked up from the bottom. You came from the womb of the mind. And then you came from the womb of the spine. Your way back home is to go back north. But you got to go back north from the south. So you have to validate the south importance because that's the trip back home. So the lower self is the way back home. Come on, y'all. Somebody keep tapping. I'll keep talking. You have to value the zero. Value the lower self. Value that negative energy. It's not right or wrong. It's not good or bad. It's a valid energy that is needed. You have to need the south to go north. You need the lower self to go north. You need the body to be in direct fitness, in direct congruency, in direct alignment with nature in order for you to reach this precipice in your mind and your spirit. You need the body. So what happened is that the gurus, the monks and the gurus and all of the yogis in the beginning, they devalued the body so much because they went off that half-ass information. Oh, devalue the body. Jesus fasted 40 years and 40 nights and 40 days and 40 nights. And so you're starving and you're fasting the hell out of your physical body. Yeah, you reach enlightenment, but you ain't got nobody to come back in to tell us about it. So y'all all failed because you all fucking fucked around and died. Death is the failure of did you know or not in this paradigm. Death is the barometer of did you pass the test or not. Death, if you die, you failed. Because this heaven, baby, this is abundance. This is everlasting life. This is, you can't see how to do this? You can't learn from the trees and from the waters and from the sun and from the air how to survive. You can't learn from that, not because you're watching each other. And that's what they did. The Gregorian calendar, the Renaissance age, put your focus on man instead of on land. So instead of you focusing on the sun in the sky, you start focusing on the sun between somebody's thighs. Well, the sun between somebody's thighs dies, but the sun in the skies never have. You see? So now you got this depiction of the upper echelon of life still was involved in the death act. Only two people didn't see death in the Bible. That is going to be Enoch and that's going to be Elijah. Hey, sit down well. Okay? So that's going to be the only two people that ever did not see death, Enoch and Elijah. The only other person, Jesus saw death. He just resurrected himself. Osiris died. But then Isis resurrected. We're talking about not seeing it. So how is Elijah and Enoch better than Jesus? You got to learn. These are not people. These are states of consciousness. Enoch, for whom I'm well pleased. Elijah did the noman's work, the noman's job of being able to do the things that he did. Never ever had to experience dying in a casket, being in a tomb. But Jesus supposed to came, died in a tomb, and resurrected. That ain't true, but it's a principle behind it. Transitioning from one state of being to the other is the art of being able to body preserve and make it through this environmental stimuli. Remember that you're getting hit with oxidative stress. You're getting hit with melatonin is an antioxidant. You're getting hit with oxidative stress. You have to battle oxidative stress to be everlasting life in this motherfucker. Because oxygen will wear and tear on your ass inside and out. So the biggest enemy physically to your body preservation is oxidative stress. You need an antioxidant, melatonin. What melatonin is saying, well, I get that through sleep. I get that through meditation. So what it's saying is that contentment and peace with nature allow you to flow through this paradigm a lot more natural, where you're not in stress. You're not in a hurry. You're not in stress. So what's happening is that when we get this contentment and this peace and this patience within nature and this dependency back on nature again instead of man's conveniences, then what happens is now I'm not stressed. And now I'm living through this paradigm in a whole nother level of energy. And that energy is healing energy. Anti-aging. In order for you to be living everlasting, you must have a component in you or something that you eat that's taken for you to stay younger looking. Melatonin do that. So now I ain't got to eat no apples, no grapes, no. He ain't giving me a whole lot of bullshit. Basically, what he's saying is that if I focus, out, and I know how to focus, because you can't meditate and pray if you don't know how to focus and concentrate. And some of you guys, those diagnoses that you done got, has got a problem with you being able to focus and concentrate, especially if you got Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia, or if you got any kind of mental illness, bipolarism, anxiety, depression. That causes for you to be hard and difficult for you to concentrate and focus in the moment. Then we can't heal you. And that's what they motherfucking is trying to do. A worried mind can't do this self-healing. A depressed mind can't do this. A lost mind, being dementia and Alzheimer's and Parkinson, and not being able to what I'm going to say is manually put yourself in this concentrative state because of whatever the nuances and elements, that we can't help you like that. We need this. We need for the mind to be in the direct same moment as the body for at least one moment. One moment we can do it. I just got to get you to do it. Okay? So we understanding that now. Everybody today wrote that today's date is 8/4/2025. Everybody on the planet would have said that today's date is 8/2025. Okay, and this is just how subtle this is when I tell you about the golden age and all this stuff that we've been talking about. I know y'all might be like, the golden age, the Renaissance, what the hell are you talking about? I'm gonna show it to you real quick and simple in this diagram. Okay, today's date, everybody on the planet. If you're in Australia, if you're in South Africa, if you're in the Congo, if you in Mozambique, if you in Europe, if you in Canada, if you in America, if you in South America, all you dumbass motherfuckers is writing that today's date is 8/4/2025. Now I said that to be funny, okay? So laugh, okay? Laugh, all right? This is the problem, because the reality of it is that the real date of today in the northern hemisphere, your date should always be different than the southern hemisphere. You should never have the same date because the sun ain't in the same place. When the sun is shining its brightest in Gemini right here on Earth, because we know that the planets are now, from Copernicus, we know that everything is orbiting the sun, right? So when the sun is shining its brightest in Gemini on the Earth, then the darkest place on the Earth is Sagittarius. The furthest place from the sun would be Sagittarius. If the sun is shining its brightest in Aries, then the furthest place from the sun is Libra. We're quantifying the dark and the light, the nothing and the something, the 0 and the 9. And that's your two sun signs that you get with your owner's manual for that little funky measly $50. So we show you all of this. But my point is that, so now because of this, the northern hemisphere puts itself 2 months ahead of time. The real time in the northern hemisphere is the 6th month of the day of the year. It's actually 6/4/2025. The new year starts in the northern hemisphere in March. The new year starts in the southern hemisphere in September. Okay? Y'all get that? Y'all get that, right? The new year starts in the northern hemisphere in March. It starts in the southern hemisphere in September. Okay? That's how this thing goes. So if everybody on the planet is putting 8/4/2025, then the northern hemisphere is putting themselves 2 months ahead of time. That's by design. And the southern hemisphere, if they go by that time, you don't fuck around and put yourself 4 months behind. In the southern hemisphere, that means everything at the equator and under, the day's date is 12/4/2025. If you wrote 8/4/2025 today, you literally subconsciously put yourself 4 months behind time. So no reason why these countries are doing as bad as they are, and no reason why these countries is doing as good as they are. Manipulating time. Now, when you come in, they put you in and out of time so that you can't remember this particular experience. So if I make sure that you never on time, then you're never synchronizing and you're never remembering, and then you don't become this Messiah type person. So instead of looking for the Messiah like how they used to back when Passover and all these different, they were just looking for the Messiah. They just knew he was supposed to come. They just look at every little earthquake, every little NATO, every little this or that. It was the Messiah, right? So because they had been reading about it so long, and they had been waiting for it celestially so long, that every celestial movement, every little planetary, every little seasonal fart, every little thing that was infarction that was happening, the Messiah, but it must be just like now, at the end of the world, every little goddamn war bomb, at the end of the world still ain't came to an end yet. It's because you guys are looking at things that are characteristics of a time. And your birthday is no different than the Savior's birthday. Your birthday has a lot of information in it as well. The time you were born has a lot of information in it. And that's why it's better than your hair sample, better than your blood type and your blood sample, better information than your urine and your stool sample, better information about the total you, that alive culture from that little nasty bump you got down there. It's non-invasive, non-intrusive. We ain't gonna prick you, prod you, poke you, or stick you with anything. Simple information. A birthday will track you around the wheel of life. Anybody else? Christos oil is your spine. That is incorrect, Timothy Lackey Jr. Okay, if you're putting stuff on the live, if y'all say stuff and I see it, I'm gonna check your motherfucking ass. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all that off the rip. If you put stuff in on my chat and I see it, I'm gonna check you off the rip. Now that don't mean that you can't say nothing. I don't block people. I mute you, but I don't block you. Because like I said, everything that I'm doing is for the found and the lost. What I'm doing is for folks who believe in me and for folks that don't. What I'm attempting to do and show you, I'm sacrificing my life for those who know me and for those that have never known me. So I never block you because the food is for you. You're not required to believe in this for this to work in you. This don't require your belief. Okay? The sun don't require your belief, it still shines. The water don't require your belief, it still blows. The water, the air doesn't require your belief, it still blows. The water don't require your belief, it still does this thing. And so this ain't a thing that where you gotta believe in it for it to work. This ain't that. Okay, this ain't that. Once we get to 100,000 likes, you guys will take information. Anybody on YouTube, y'all got questions, concerns, let me know. If you got questions or concerns, let me know. Why are we closing down the light? If you guys got questions or concerns, let me know. And don't be afraid, you guys. Once we get to this, these 100,000 likes, because I know that's what y'all want. Do not be afraid, okay? Do not be afraid. I'm only talking to you about your health, okay? Do not be afraid. A lot of the stuff when you come up here, the fact of the matter is I don't know you, you don't know me. So let's see how well nature knows you, okay? Nature knows you. I don't do this for love, even though I do love compatibility, but I don't do this for love. This ain't for love. But if you want your love compatibility test, we do have that for $25. You can go to the website if you're looking for love compatibility. We'll give that to you, okay? But this ain't what we're going to do here. I'll never do love compatibility. I tried that one time. I don't like the way that feels. Because the reason why is because ain't no need in me trying to get you a love life if your consciousness ain't there. Ain't no need for me to try to get you to find wealth and riches when your mind ain't right. If I give you money when your mind ain't right, you'll lose it. If I give you love when your mind ain't right, you'll lose it. So we got to get your mind right. Okay? And that's with your healing of your body, your finances, or your relationship. Got to get your mind right. And I know y'all scared and y'all don't want that, but I don't give a damn. That's what we do here on the HerbMan show. That's what made me different from everybody else. I love you and you can do about it, literally. And I'm going to treat you the way I know you're supposed to be treated. And that's with the level of care to be able to understand that it's your spiritual tendencies that we got to work on. HerbMan, can you repeat the two sides of the signs? Yeah. I mean, I ain't gonna repeat all of that, man. But Aries and Libra, Taurus and Scorpio, Gemini and Sagittarius, Cancer and Capricorn, Leo and Aquarius, Virgo and Pisces. Okay, but it's a lot of information. So for y'all be asking me to repeat stuff, you can't do that, man. Y'all just gotta watch me live every day. Y'all to get it. I'm repeating the same stuff over and over and over and over and over. From the morning show to this show, I repeat stuff over and over and over. Go and look at my YouTube channel. Learn from me. When you learn from me, you'll be able to see this shit, how it goes. You'll be like, okay, I get what he's doing, what he's saying, and now I understand how it works. We don't chase disease. The biggest thing that we're chasing is not disease. We're chasing death. I'm not trying to fix or eradicate disease. This is the disease. This is the disease that is plaguing all of humanity. It's the death consciousness. And I'm bringing everlasting life. I'm tired of reading a book about somebody that died and resurrected. I want to know how to be able to live permanently in this existence. If he already died, I shouldn't have to. So don't keep teaching me about dying. If somebody died for my sins, I don't have to die behind my sins. Wake up. Wake up. If somebody died for my sins, then I shouldn't have to die for nothing that I've done. Come on, grandmama. Come on, mama. You're dying. Are we asking the question, why are we still dying? If the man went down there, the story true, why are we still dying? And then on top of that, is this story real? And I'm saying, yes, the story is real, but you got to know how they look and how they understand it. And it's got to be retaught and reprogrammed because they have put that in you through death consciousness. I want to teach you that same story over again, but through everlasting life consciousness to show you the way to get to everlasting life. Not the death ain't the way to everlasting life. Death is not the way to heaven. Y'all don't understand that shit. If you die, you failed. You failed. You're a failure. Because you got lost in the paradigm somewhere and you lost your connection with nature, and therefore your supernatural abilities diminished, and you're just a mere human. And a mere human, the end result to you is death. But a supernatural motherfucker, that's who you got to be super, to live everlasting. Is you got to be supernatural. Well, look at what supernatural means. This ain't Superman. This is being natural, super. This means that you got to be super connected to nature, natural things. Y'all don't want to walk butt naked. You don't want to get your water. You don't want to grow your food. You don't want to build your own home. You don't want to live off the land, off of Mother Nature. You cook food that she done cook. She done cook the fruit and she done cook some vegetables, and you go right in there and take them straight up out of the ground and go in there and cook them some more. If you can't eat collard greens fresh, then you can't eat collard greens. If you can't eat it straight from mama, then it's not for you to eat. See, because when mama cook it is done, it's for you, and you can eat it in that way. That's why fruits are the more exceptional choice, because the fruits, when they done, they tastier. But when the vegetables done, oh, you don't really want to. So you got to go in there and cook collard greens, cook mustard greens, cook turnip greens. Because why? Because that ain't really the shit you supposed to be eating. Oh, he ain't say that, did he? If you can't eat it raw in nature is cooked. Raw in nature is cooked. Cooked in nature is dead. Okay, YouTube? Raw in nature is cooked, but cooked in nature is dead. So when you're getting raw nature foods, that's cooked foods. But when you go in your kitchen and cook it, that's dead. So then you got to learn how to eat those foods that you don't have to cook as much. So you don't put a whole lot of death in your sarcophagus. You don't have to put a whole lot of death in your body. Okay? These are the things that you must learn and understand so that you can get back to being supernatural. Not superhuman, not no Superman, Spider-Man, Batman type of shit. Supernatural, just being able to talk to nature, being able to walk with nature in a unison, in a symbiotic relationship where you see this spirituality come forward and all of your intuitive skills and all of your intellect start to submerge in with the ambiances of nature. And therefore, now you have somebody helping you in a whole. So now you can just think about a crane. Instead of having to build a crane, you think about a crane and watch you lift a rock like a crane would without a crane. And that's why motherfuckers don't know how they built the pyramid. Because they didn't have to build the crane. They could just think on it to get the functionality. Okay? So that's what you guys got to understand, okay, about everything. Okay? And get this understanding in you before time is too late. Okay? All right? So that's what you guys must understand. That's what we bring it to the table, you guys. I love you guys, and I appreciate all of the love. Something's going on with my TikTok, so we're going to go ahead and close up the live. I appreciate all of my YouTubers. If you are interested in your owner's manual, please DM me. We'll get you the information that you need, man. I love you guys. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Please go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan. And until next time, love HerbMan. Peace, peace, peace. Love you guys. Yes, sir. Who said? Yeah, you woke.